So this talk is called How to Succeed at Syntactic Island Acquisition Without Really Trying, Learning About Local Structure. And I'm Lisa Pearl, that's me. I'm at the University of California, Irvine, where I'm a professor in the Department of Language Science, and I run the Computation of Language Laboratory, COLA Lab for short. And this talk is meant for the workshop on locality in theory, processing, and acquisition being held at the University of Pennsylvania, with my talk planned for March 31st, 2023. But let's talk about how to succeed at syntactic island acquisition without really trying, right? What does that mean? In fact, what does it mean really to succeed at syntactic island acquisition and be as happy as these little guys are, who are my kids, my triplets and my older daughter? And they are very happy because they are succeeding at language acquisition. So, okay, how do you do that? Well, one answer is to develop the target behavior that we observe about syntactic islands. So what kind of target behavior? Well, some example behavior, maybe judgment patterns or preferences and dispreferences for certain utterances related to syntactic islands. If you develop that kind of behavior, then you've hit your target, right? And to do that, given the input that children get and the time that they have to learn, that's what it means to succeed, right? And so in general, again, acquisition success for syntactic islands: get the input kids get the time they have to learn, and be able to produce the target behavior for syntactic islands. Now, what does it mean without really trying? In some sense, what does it mean to try? Well, one way to think about this is trying means learning about syntactic islands directly. For instance, maybe you're looking for language-specific bounding nodes, which was the approach that subjacency, say, originally took. But you're looking for these language-specific bounding nodes that signal syntactic island structure in wh-dependencies, that is, dependencies involving a wh word, which we'll talk more about in a little bit. But you're trying, right? You're looking for these things related to syntactic islands. You're trying to do this directly. That's a way to think about trying. Now, what about without really trying? Is maybe learning about syntactic islands indirectly, by learning about those wh dependencies more generally, right? That's what you're focusing on, and syntactic islands kind of come from that knowledge. They come indirectly. You're not trying to learn them specifically. You're trying just to learn about wh dependencies more generally. Okay, what about learning about local structure, right? Given the focus of this workshop on locality. Well, the proposal that I'm going to put forward and explore in this talk is that the relevant local structure is pieces that combine to build wh dependencies, these little local pieces that combine. And so you're going to learn about syntactic islands indirectly without really trying by learning about the probabilities of the little local pieces that build wh dependencies. That's the idea. And so part one, we're going to talk about learning the probabilities of pre-specified pieces from the input, which was explored in a 2013 paper that I wrote with John Sprouse. This turns out to work pretty well, as we'll see. And in part two, we'll explore what happens when not only are you learning the probabilities of pieces, but you're actually learning what the pieces themselves are from the input. And this is a more recent investigation, and this turns out to work even better, which is very fun. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And first, what we're going to do is briefly review some relevant information about the acquisition of syntactic islands.